is going to be infinitely more controversial than my last video, and I am low-key 100% expecting death threats from this. Hi everyone, it's Cryptid Cat, and today I kind of have a different video. I teased it on my YouTube channel post, but today I'm going to do a tier ranking of every single Monster High Skullector that is released up until now. And you may be wondering, what is Monster High? Because I know most people who watch my channel are more into like spirit and animatronics and all of that, and this is a completely different vibe. But Monster High is a line of dolls created by Mattel, so same company that makes Barbie, and they released back in 2010, and they are dolls that represent various icons of horror. So they're the children of these famous monsters. So we have Frankenstein, the daughter of Frankenstein. We have Cleo de Nile, daughter of the Mummy. We have, I'm looking at my shelf to get names. We have Claudine Wolf, daughter of the werewolf. And then Glia Yelp's daughter of Zombie, Draculaura, daughter of Dracula, all of that. So you kind of get the picture. Except Monster High, starting 2020, created an exclusive adult collector line called Skullectors, and these are of the horror icons. So we're going to get to dolls. So we're going to see Pennywise, we're going to see Dracula, we're going to see Creature of the Black Lagoon, we're going to see a lot of different stuff, and we're going to just go straight into it. Okay, so I got the tier list up right now, and we're just going to get straight into it. So basically, I'm going to put things in their respective tiers. I have a script on me because there's a lot of shit I need to cover. And then I'm going to open up my files too so we can just get a better look of the pictures as well. So we're going to start with the first ever Skullector that was released, which is Pennywise from the movie It. And Pennywise released October 23rd of 2020 and originally retailed for $60. Pennywise had two separate runs. On the original launch day of the 23rd, Pennywise sold out in 3 minutes, and Pennywise relaunched and sold out again within only a couple minutes on Mattel Creations on Halloween during a restock. The cool thing about Pennywise is one of 2 Skullectors where she came with limited edition prints. Only 1,300 prints were made, and they are very rare to come by, and any Pennywise doll in the aftermarket today that does happen to come with this print is typically worth a lot more than just Pennywise by herself. However, Pennywise is going to go in the B tier. We're going to go into an analysis of the doll. So I'm just going to pull up a quick picture really quick from my files. Hey guys, it's Editing Cat, and for some reason, when I was recording this video on my computer, it did not show any of the files that I had opened that shows the doll. So we're going to pretend that that didn't happen, and I'm just going to pull up a Google image of it and just plaster it over the screen. So yeah, I am sorry about that. But yes, this is Pennywise, and she looks pretty good. I understand why people like her and that she's very, very, very popular, and I know a lot of people are going to be disagreeing with a lot of my tier rankings. And Pennywise, I know, is considered as the GOAT doll, like, you need her, but she's not that for me. Again, there's nothing particular I hate about this doll, she's just not for me, and there's better dolls out there in my opinion. I think her hair looks great, I love the balloon prop they gave her, and her outfit's great. The material and everything, the shoes, the detail, they did a great job. Again, this doll just isn't for me, which again is why she is being put in high B tier. The next dolls that dropped were the Grady twins, which was the same day as Pennywise. It was kind of a similar story where she was released that day and then restocked with Pennywise on Halloween. And the Grady twins came with limited prints as well. Pennywise's prints was only during the first wave. The Grady twins restock had prints for both waves. So the first wave on October 23rd was a limit of 500 prints, and then the restock on Halloween was a limit of 900 prints, giving us 1,400 sets with prints in total, which is 100 more than what Pennywise sold with. Again, this was on Mattel Creations, and this is our first Skullector 2-pack. So they retailed for $75 originally, $15 more than Pennywise. A lot of people are going to hate me for this, but this is a D tier doll for me. This doll sucks. And we're going to get into it, so I'm going to pull up the picture again. I hate their hair. I hate their faces. I hate the axe hair clip. It could have been an accessory. I think the hair clip looks really dorky and cheesy. I'm not a fan of the shoes. I think the dresses are really cute. I'll give it that, but otherwise, I think they're really ugly dolls. I know a lot of people are going to hate me for this, but again, this is my personal opinion and my personal ranking. So I think these dolls fucking suck. So that's all we got for 2020. In 2021, we got 2 more Skullector dolls, and that's going to be Beetlejuice and Lydia is the first one. They dropped August 13th of 2021, and they originally retailed for 90 USD. So this would be our second Skullector 2-pack that we ever got, and they retailed for $15 more than the Grady twins, because the Grady twins were 75, Beetlejuice and Lydia are now 90, and we're going to see a pattern later in this video. Unlike Pennywise and the Grady twins, they were limited to a single release and sold out within 5 minutes on the Mattel Creations website. And the funny thing is I was actually supposed to originally get this set. It was supposed to be an early birthday gift for me because my birthday is just 10 days after, on August 23rd. And I wasn't not able to make the drop myself because I was doing a school volunteer thing that day, and my mom was gonna get it for me. And then my mom completely forgot about the drop. So I missed that, and these dolls are worth like well over $600 now, which sucks. But with my ranking, you'll see that I'm kind of glad I didn't get them. Because I don't like this set in the long run. I wanted it at the time because that's when I was like really into the musical, and don't get me wrong, I still love the musical, but I just don't like these dolls. My biggest gripe is that Beetlejuice is not a guy. They made Beetlejuice a girl, and I don't like that. I like my hot, dilf, disgusting rat man. You can say whatever that says about me. I'm not a fan that Beetlejuice is a girl. The only saving grace of this set is Lydia, and I'm still not the biggest fan of her. I don't like how they did this set. If Beetlejuice was a guy, I could have ranked the set so much higher, but because she's a girl and I'm not a fan of the outfits or anything, the hair looks disgusting, that is what's letting them in D tier. So the next doll, however, is Greta Gremlin from Gremlins 2. She retailed for 60 USD, so same price as Pennywise. She was, again, like Beetlejuice, was limited to a single release and sold out within 3 minutes on Mattel Creations. And this doll is going in S tier. It's going to be our first in S tier. There are very few dolls who will be going in S tier, but Greta is an example of what Mattel needs to go back to doing. This is an all-around great, beautiful Skullector doll. It's a completely original mold. The outfit's amazing. They have great materials. They gave her a bunch of accessories, and her box design is like off the lab, and it's really good. So yeah, I think Greta is an S tier, and Mattel needs to go back to making dolls like her. She is an all-around great doll. We're gonna go into 2022, and this is the year that Monster High would reboot itself. For 2021 and 2022, Monster High was technically dead because with the story of Monster High, there's currently 3 generations of Monster High. Generation 1, which is the one that I grew up with, I got into Monster High in 2013, so at the peak of Generation 1. And then around 2016, Monster High would transition into Generation 2 after bitchy white woman Karen complaints about the dolls being too edgy for children, even though they weren't edgy at all. So they made them of shittier quality, and people didn't like that, and it was a very piss-poor marketing move, and they should not have listened to this small handful of bitchy Karens. And that led to the demise of the brand. So in 2022, Monster High would reboot, come back in full swing. That's the year that I would start collecting again. I remember being in college and going to the store with my friends, and that's when I found Generation 3 in stores, and that's when I would buy that and get back into it. And again, that was the same year as the reproductions of the first wave dolls. So the first few core dolls so Claudine, Draculaura, Laguna, and Frankie were the first reproductions that we got. So that was a really cool year. And then we got 2 more Skullectors this year. This is the last year we're going to see just 2 Skullectors. So the first one is Dracula. Dracula released June 3rd of 2022 and retailed for $65. So we got a $5 price increase now for the single dolls. And once again, Dracula was limited to a single release and sold out within 6 minutes on Mattel Creations. And Dracula for me is a low D tier. I don't like this doll. I really hope that in the future they actually make a Count Orlok Nosferatu doll and that it looks good, because I don't like this one. I get it's like the classic Dracula, but I don't like the outfit and I don't like the face. It bothers me. I think this was a very half-assed doll. The only saving grace for me is the candlestick accessory and the bat. That is pretty cool, but otherwise, it's really basic, and I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. So again, that's what constitutes low D tier for me. And then we got the Bride of Frankenstein 2-pack, which will release on October 10th of 2022 for 90 USD. So again, same price as the Beetlejuice and Lydia 2-pack that we got. And again, limited to single release and Mattel creations, sold out in 4 hours, which will be the longest, but not the longest that we've seen, just the longest so far. And this set is a high A tier for me. This is a gorgeous set. Once again, an example of Mattel needing to go back to stuff like this. Like, they didn't gender bend Frankenstein. We got Frankenstein as a guy, and although he's basic, he's supposed to be basic. This is done right. His head sculpt, face painting, it's beautiful, and I wish I had this set. This set is starting to get pricier, and I really want to get it because I want to display it with my Frankenstein daughter Frankenstein shrine. I'll pull up a picture right here, right now, of not even all of my Frankies, but just what I have. And then the bride is gorgeous too. Her shoes are really pretty. There's no close-up here, but she's gorgeous. This is just a gorgeous set. This is simple, done right. This, it's classy, it's gorgeous, I love it. So again, high A tier. And that's the last we're going to see of just 2 releases a year. It is going to get crazy from here. So we're going to transition into 2023 with Elvira, which released on Friday the 13th of January 2023. I actually own this doll. I'll put a picture of mine here. I'm not pulling any like specifically to show live in this video because I have mine displayed and I don't want to fuck up my display right now. Some of my stuff's in storage. I don't want to deal with that, so I'm just going to take pictures and display it. So she was originally 65 USD. This is a story of how I would come to own her. Is when she released, I initially didn't care at all. I didn't know who Elvira was, but later in that year around Halloween is when I would watch the Elvira movie. And holy fuck, that movie was camp. I loved it. I love that movie so much. It is so goofy. It's so silly. I love it. So after I saw the movie, I'm like, shit, I really wish I got this style. But at that point, because of scalpers in the community, she was reselling for around $300 at this point, and I wasn't paying that. But I was in a Facebook group where people do Monster High raffles. So I spent $10 on a raffle ticket, and one of the dolls that I could choose from this raffle was an Elvira doll. And I won the raffle, so I spent a total of $10 to get my Elvira, which is awesome. So, again, with the original drop and not my experience, she was a single release Mattel Creations, sold out within 4 minutes, and I'm gonna rank her low A tier. She is a gorgeous doll, but I do have some complaints about her, and my biggest thing is she has no tatas. She has no big old bitties. And that's everyone's gripe with this doll, is they didn't give her her iconic tits. I'm aware this sounds incredibly gay, and I don't care. But otherwise, she's a gorgeous doll. I kind of wish they went with more of like a sparkly, like, think Ghostface's robe material for her dress. I think that would have been prettier. But otherwise, I think she's a great doll. And again, so again, low A tier. And then Chucky and Tiffany from The Bride of Chucky released on May 1st, 2023. I remember this drop was really weird because it was one of the few Mattel drops where there were absolutely no leaks. And this was dropped a day in advance and people were like, huh? What? And so that was really interesting. Once again, the 2-pack price of $90. It was limited to a single release and sold out in 8 minutes. And they get C tier. I love Chucky and the franchise. I do not like these dolls. I do not like these dolls. Chucky, once again, I'm not mad that Chucky's a girl and that they gender bent him. I think it would have been cooler if he was a guy, but I'm not mad. My main gripe with Chucky is his skin's orange. I don't know why they made him orange. He kind of looks like a jack-o'-lantern, and it's weird. And I wish they gave him a hand knife accessory instead of the stupid hair clip. I wish they did that. But otherwise, I do like the outfit and I like the shoes. Very reminiscent of what Chucky actually wears, but Monster High fans can agree with this. They dropped the ball on Tiffany. Her outfit looks like shit. Tiffany's outfit is a mess and people are really mad. They did not just stick to what Tiffany's outfit was in the movie. The heart blood splatters look like crap. This weird short sleeve puff, stupid, not even remotely resembling a leather jacket's awful too. I don't even know if she came with the iconic Tiffany necklace. It's not even in this stock photo, so who knows, because I don't own these dolls. She just looks sloppy. And we'll see this in the future too, where they're gonna start getting sloppy for the 2-packs. Overall, I do not think they were worth $90. Most of the community can agree with this, and this set is worth like nothing on the aftermarket today because of how poorly percepted this was, which again is why it ranks in C tier. It would be D tier, but again, Chucky's outfit is the only thing saving this. And then the next style that we would see, which would be the first time I would participate in a Mattel creation job, would be Annabelle from The Conjuring on August 9th, 2023. Much like Beetlejuice, except I would be successful this time. She would be an early birthday gift for me, and people are gonna hate me, but I've still yet to see the Conjuring movies. I know I'm going to get shit for that, and probably be called a fake fan or whatever. Call me whatever the hell you want, but she's a cool doll. I love this doll, and they did such a good job. I know people don't really like this doll to this day, and they think she's like low effort, low quality. I think she's amazing. I think she's tried and true. No notes. She's great. So she originally retailed for $65 and was limited to a single release and sold out within 11 minutes. I was one of the people lucky enough to get her. And she's high A tier for me, and Elvira will move because I think she places above Elvira, but yeah, high A tier. And we'll go into a picture of her. I know she's not a one-to-one of Annabelle from The Conjuring. Her dress is shorter and very different, but this is it done right. This is a reimagined, inspired doll done correctly. My only gripe is I think her braids could have been thinner. They are very, very, very thick. And she does, it doesn't show in the stock photo, but she does have a purse of the chair, which is pretty cool as well. And her box, I'm going to put mine up right here, my doll. I have the reason I can't move her is because I have her affixed to the wall right now, and I don't want to unstick her from the command strips. But she is in the actual box, and her certificate of authenticity is the warning, positively do not open label, which is awesome. But yeah, again, high A tier for Annabelle. And the last Skullector of 2023, which would drop October 27th, and would be one of the worst Monster High drops to this date. People still talk about it. People are still pissed off about it. And that is Jack and Sally from The Nightmare Before Christmas. They originally retailed for $90. And I participated in this drop, and I was not able to get these dolls. It was a mess, despite the fact that I was on the site on time ready, and a lot of fans were not able to get this. It mostly went to scalpers. I initially paid $180 from a scalper for my set. I don't support giving it to scalpers. I'm not happy that I did it, but compared to what they're worth now, that really wasn't bad. So yeah, I caved into that. I wasn't proud of it, and it was a result of an absolute crash out that I had, which going back was really stupid. But I would then go on later to sell that set for $120 to a friend of mine who I'm not friends with anymore because she ended up being... I'm not going into it. I'm not friends with this individual anymore for a bunch of very valid reasons. But I came to regret selling this set, and I was very upset about it for a while, which last year, thankfully, my boyfriend Steven came in, and he was able to find a set for me for $20, only $20 more than what I initially paid, so $200 instead of $180, which is significantly lower than what they go for now. They go for over $300, much like Elvira. So I have them on my shelf. I'll display mine right here. And yeah, I'm very lucky to have them, and that we were able to find them for lower than market today, albeit still a crazy price. And honestly, they're a high B tier for me. I'm going to place them above Pennywise. But I'll get into why these are high B tier and not higher. Is Jack's outfit is made of this very papery, thin, cheap, shiny material, and I don't like that. I know people are criticizing Sally a lot because of her outfit, because it's not like one-to-one, but I have no issues with Sally. I actually originally bought the set just for Jack, but I came to love Sally, and her facial screening is everything. They did a great job with her. She's gorgeous. And I still love Jack. I love his mold, but I wish for $90, he could have been of better quality, which is, again, why they are high B tier. Alright, we're gonna go into 2024 now. This is the introduction of Fan Club early access drops for Skullector dolls. And Fan Club is a paid membership. It's $9.99 a year. And you basically get early access to drops. Again, though, nothing is guaranteed. It just increases your odds. So the first doll that we're going to see for 2024 was released originally on April 25th for Fan Club and then April 26th for the general public. She was $65 USD. And again, the two separate releases. The Fan Club one sold out in 4 minutes, while the general public took 11 minutes to sell out. Damn it, we're gonna see a pattern. Creature of the Black Lagoon is an S tier for me, and I know a lot of people are gonna be like, what? Because this doll was worth like nothing on the aftermarket. She's basically worth retail. She's worth nothing, but this is a gorgeous doll and what I want to see more from Mattel. I know there's a lot of criticisms with this doll, but from the unique stand to her unique mold, how the shoes are like the webbed feet, all her accessories and everything, the hair, the colors, because I know the color was like bitched about a lot of this doll. People thought she was too bright, but I think she's gorgeous, and I think Mattel should make more things like this. She's simple, like the Frankenstein set, but again, this is done right. And then the next drop we would see would be Wednesday and Morticia from the Addams Family, and the Fan Club drop was on May 9th, general public was May 10th. Once again, 2-pack price, $90. It was around 10 minutes for them to sell out. For me, this is low D tier. I hate this set. I hate this set so much. They did them so dirty. Wednesday, I hate how Wednesday looks. Morticia, the base doll is good, but it's just so lazy, and they could have done so much better, because this was a highly anticipated set, and a lot of people were left extremely disappointed, because the quality and everything, people were mad, and rightfully so. So again, that's low D tier. Next set is going to be the Sanderson sisters from Hocus Pocus, and Fan Club was October 3rd, general public was October 4th. And this is an interesting set, because this is our first 3-pack, and they retailed for $125, which is a lot of money. Once again, the two separate releases. This is the longest drop we're going to see so far, but they took over 24 hours to sell out. This set was up for a while, which is interesting, because, once again, Nightmare Before Christmas is a Disney IP, and they sold out extremely fast, almost immediately. Well, Sanderson sisters sold like crap, and that is because before I rank them, before I give my judgment, I'm going to pull up the stock photo, and I bet you can already see why they sold like crap. The base dolls, the molds, the hair, are gorgeous. These are gorgeous dolls. They did all the different body types and everything, gorgeous. The problem was the absolutely low quality, highly saturated outfits and this gold whatever, this cheap gold plastic. People were very upset, because these outfits were garbage, resembled nothing of like the actual Sanderson sisters, and you can look up the actual like Disney Hocus Pocus dolls and they look nothing like that. They look so much better. But yeah, because of that, this is a low C tier. This is a low C tier because the only thing saving this set is the molds and the dolls itself. Not the outfits, but just like the naked standard doll. Because they did a great job with that. The faces, the sculpts, everything. It's just the outfits and the accessories. I'm sorry, Mattel. It was a flop. And because of that, I do not think we'll see another 3-pack anytime soon. I think the reason it looked like crap is because all of the budget constraints, because I know it's probably expensive to get this shit produced. So that's probably why they had to cut corners, and it showed. It was very obvious. And then the last one we would see of 2024 with a Fan Club release on October 24th and general public on October 25th would be Younghee from Squid Game. Now, I've mentioned Younghee on my channel already. In my first Spirit video where I discussed her animatronic, her original retail price was $65, and I purchased her. She was a controversial doll. People were really upset about this. They thought she did not fit the Skullector definition. People did not like this. They didn't care about Squid Games and were mad and wanted to see other dolls. So there was an uproar. And she had, once again, with the 2 separate leases. Despite that, she is not sold out on the Mattel Creations website. Yeah. And this is not the first time we'll see this. There are a couple more dolls in this video that haven't sold out, which indicates the downfall of Mattel. But yeah, my ranking for Younghee, despite that though, is an A tier. And I know people are going to think I'm insane for that, but once again, simple done right. She has the, oh my god, I forgot what it's called, but the cookie, I'm gonna put the name right here, and I feel like such a dumbass that I forgot what it's called. Dalgona. She has the Dalgona shapes in her hair, which is really cute. She has the Monster High skulls as like her little hair ribbons. Her eyes are the cameras that she has in red light, green light, and then we see the stair motif on her dress. And then she has the iconic piggy bank as her purse. She has more of the Dalgona cookie shapes on her stockings. And then she has the faces of the guards as her heels on her shoes. I think that's pretty good. Once again, simple doll done right. So, high A tier. Sorry, I had to read just a little bit because my computer's dying and I had to plug it in again. But we're going to go into 2025, the year everyone started realizing and seeing through Mattel's bullshit. So the first doll that we would see this year was back in February, on February 26th, with the Beetlejuice, and Lydia set. So we would see them release again, but in their wedding attire this time. Once again, set retailed for $90. And this was the first Skullector to be available on both Mattel Creations and Amazon, which, that being the first Amazon Skullector drop, there were a lot of issues, and due to the site issues, they would end up restocking because the drop was that bad. I tried for these dolls, and the first Amazon drop was a mess. A couple weeks later, thankfully, they restocked them, and I'm gonna get into that. They sold out on Mattel Creations pretty quickly, and Amazon too, but after the Amazon restock, they're still up, and they've had yet to sell out. They've actually gone on clearance a few times. Just a week or two ago, they were between $50-$60 in that range, and now they're only down $2. They're down to $88. So if you're interested in that set, I'd monitor it and see when the price drops again, because they have like no aftermarket price anymore because of this. And their ranking is, I'm gonna go a higher D tier for them. I again ended up getting this set, but I actually ended up selling mine recently because they were just taking up space in my closet. I didn't care about them that much. Once again, Beetlejuice is a female. We already know how I feel about this. So the reason I bought them was because I was initially going to make a male costume of Beetlejuice, and then I never ended up doing it, so I sold them. Beetlejuice did have like a very nice outfit, same with Lydia's. Lydia's color scheme is just way too flat. It's the same shade of red even for the purse. You can barely even tell the purse is there. Same with the shoes. They should have done different colors, and it's not great. So again, D tier is where they go. And then the next doll we're going to see was Mattel Creations, and it was on May 24th. It was David from the Lost Boys, retailed for $65. And much like Younghee and Beetlejuice, David has not sold out. You can still buy David to this day, and eventually I do want to buy David. There's a lot of criticisms, and a lot of people don't like the style, but although I've never seen the Lost Boys, so I can't say much, this sculpt, gorgeous, and that's the main reason I want the doll. I think he looks amazing. I love this unique sculpt. It's beautiful, and for that, David is a low B tier. And then the next doll we're going to see is Megan, who was more recent on June 10th. Megan sold for $65, and once again, Megan has not sold out. You can still buy Megan on Mattel Creations. And with Megan is actually the first Skullector doll we'll see, because she has this cool gimmick where it's her regular face, and if you take her face off, because it's completely removable, it's just her robot face. And again, I'm going to put Megan in low B tier. I'm going to put her a little below David, because I want to buy David, I don't want to buy Megan. We're going to go with the most recent now. This doll just sold out yesterday. The doll after her releases the 30th, and the one after that, Mattel hasn't officially made a statement, but we do have official stock photos, so I'm covering it. Released at the end of August. So we're going to get into this. We have the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Elvira Mistress of the Dark. Yes, we have another Elvira doll. She began her sale July 24th and was supposed to go through today, because today's the last day of San Diego Comic-Con, but she ended up selling out yesterday before 10 a.m., and this was confirmed by the original creator of Monster High. He posted on Instagram that when she sold out, and it was crazy. She retailed for $80, which is crazy. She is $10 cheaper than a 2-pack. Because up until now, we've had single dolls be $60, $65. $80 is an insane increase, which I guess you could justify with her being a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. We could debate that. But there were issues with this doll at the convention. And like I mentioned before, scalpers use bots to fuck up the Mattel Creations website so fans can't actually get that shit so they can scalp. Yeah, scalpers have pretty much taken over San Diego Comic-Con because 90% of the people who purchased this doll were resellers and were actively reselling her on site at the convention, which to me should be grounds for kicking someone out and banning them, but fuck, that's just me. That's just me. Would that ever happen? Probably not, because the con is making their money either way and they don't give a shit, but that's just me. But yeah, there were some Monster High influencers who were literally unable to get this doll despite standing in line and being there early for hours. They all purchased from resellers. So that's pretty sad. Some fans were able to get her, but it was majority resellers, and people who happened to be at San Diego Comic-Con said it was bad. It was really bad. I wasn't there, but I'm just going off what I heard. Again, she sold out yesterday, and I want this doll so bad. I want this doll so bad. She looks so good. She's so pretty. She has this different face mold. I love the wink. I love the purple metallic. She's Gorgina, and she is a high A tier for me because of that sculpt. I'm sorry. She's so good. She's so good. And then you're like, oh, why do you have the same doll here twice? I don't. That is the same doll, different face, but in silver instead of the exclusive purple. And do you want to know how much she is? She is more than the San Diego Comic-Con one. She is $81, so $1 more. Fuck you, Mattel. And on top of that, though, she is going to release July 30th, and she is fan club only. So you need to be a member, or else you cannot buy this doll. This doll will not be available for the general public, which people are really upset about, because funny story behind this doll is earlier in the year or end of last year, she ended up releasing on Amazon UK, and a lot of collectors are able to get her through there. So the fact that she's exclusive for Mattel Creations only and not isn't even getting a public release has people really upset. And the European drop had her at a cheaper price than this, which is really interesting. So yeah, she's gonna be $81 and then the $9.99 membership fee. So she is the same price as a 2-pack of it, essentially. Which is ridiculous. Because how is she more than the San Diego Comic-Con? It's bullshit. I guess you could probably blame tariffs, and if tariffs are... No, we can't blame tariffs, because after the tariff thing, we got David and Megan, and David and Megan are still 65. So for her to price be bumped up to 81 is insane and deranged. I initially wanted this doll. I will not be getting her because I'm not feeding into Mattel's stupid ideas. I'm not feeding into the capitalistic thing. I'm not paying $90 for a single doll. That's where I draw the line. As bad as I like this doll, fuck that. I'm not supporting this. I don't want Mattel thinking this is okay. I know people are going to buy her despite, because Monster High fans are crazy and don't care. I don't care if you're mad at that. It's a true statement. It's a true statement. They'll buy whatever. So yeah, and so basically because of that, she is a low A tier. That makes me mad. It makes me really mad. So I will be missing out on that doll. And then the last one was a speculated doll. But we finally got official stock photos of her. She doesn't release till sometime in August. We don't have an official date yet. That's TBD. But again, I'm only discussing this because we have official stock photos. And that is Emily from Corpse Bride. We don't have her price yet. We're assuming she's $65. That could very well be wrong because we have a fucking $81 Elvira now. So, but yeah, this doll had some controversy. And that's because this doll was leaked a few months ago because some people from a different country got stolen factory stock and posted it on the internet, which I have thoughts about. I do not promote stolen factory stock. I don't like it. I hate people who promote and purchase from these people who sell stolen factory stock. It's really upsetting, and I'm sick of people doing it. This is like a mini side rant, and I'm sorry about this. You can easily skip this part. I'll put like a timestamp in the video if you want to skip this rant. But there's people who have got this doll through illegal means and are raffling it on Facebook right now. So this is a doll that PR has not gone out yet, or it has. But they could very well be sending out PR right now, but I know this was not obtained through PR because they sold another one months ago. And when asked how they obtained it, they refused to give information, which I think you're a piece of shit for doing. If you're going to support stolen factory stock and illegal purchasing of goods, be honest about it at least. Don't be a piece of shit human being. So I think this is really shitty behavior. It makes me mad that people think this is okay. I do not support, again, the distribution and selling of stolen factory goods. I don't care about the people who say, well, Mattel's a huge company and fuck billionaire companies. Because it's not the company I care about, it's the designers. The designers have come out and said shit against this. These designers are paid like literal pennies. And this pisses them off. So to see people who claim to be Monster High fans promoting these stolen goods is disappointing and shitty. So, rant over. Welcome back if you skipped the rant. Sorry about that. But yeah, there was drama surrounding this doll because her box art is highly speculated and I think was confirmed at this point to be made using AI. Her box was made using AI art, and I'll post this right here. The box in general looks like shit. I don't know what they were thinking. It looks really weird, and again, AI, it looks wrong, and I don't know what they were going for, so it was a weird move. So yeah, I'm gonna rank her high B tier. I'm gonna rank her there. She's gorgeous. I love her face sculpt. Her hair is pretty, and once again, the body sculpt. I don't like the dress material. There's some things on doll scale that are very, very, very difficult to bring down to doll scale, if that makes sense. There's materials that are just very hard to use on a doll scale. So the lace just looks very awkward, and it looks very thick and stiff. That's what my issue is. But otherwise, I think she looks great. Otherwise, when Emily does release, I will be going for her. I will be attempting to purchase her because overall, I think that she is a gorgeous doll despite her flaws. And that's pretty much it. Those are my thoughts on all the Skullector dolls. These are all dolls that have either already been released or have been officially confirmed, and we have stock photos. There are some other Skullectors that have been speculated and we've seen teasers of, but they are unofficial images, and I don't want to promote that. I don't want to promote leaked stuff on my thing, so I'm not going to get into that, because I know a Skullector site is speculated and should be coming out soon, but we don't have, like, official images for that, so I don't want to post that. And there's some other speculated stuff that we're going to be getting, but it's not confirmed, so I don't want to get into speculation on that territory either. But that's pretty much all of my opinions. If you agree or disagree, feel free to sound off below. I know I listed a bunch of very hot takes, and a lot of people won't agree with my tier list. So I'm curious to see what everyone thinks. If you're a fan of Monster High and you're watching my video, if you're here for my animatronic content, that'll resume next week. I'm going to start filming my Home Depot. Hey, so I lied. As I'm editing this, the same day, Spirit has released the next wave of their lineup, so that unfortunately is going to get priority over Home Depot. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Bye!